Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. My name's Tolu, and on this channel I share content all around personal finance, budgeting, frugal living, and I show you how to live your best life on a budget. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is bringing you episode number 11 of my Instagram live series called Tea Money Talks. So on this episode, I'm joined by the amazing Cheryl, also known online as Frugal Me Free. She's going to be talking all about her debt story so far, and she's also going to be talking all about budgeting. Budgeting is a subject that you know I love talking about so much on this channel. So it was a really good conversation that we had, talking all about budgeting, the importance of it, different budgeting methods that you can use and apply to your finances. We talked about so much within this hour. So once again, like I always say, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself some snacks, grab yourself a pen and paper so that you can take notes, because once again, it's a really good conversation, which I know you're going to take so much from. So if you've been enjoying all these episodes of Tea Money Talks, then do me a favor and give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. Share this video with a friend or family member or someone that you think will benefit from this video all about budgeting. And without further ado, I'm going to bring you episode number 11 of Tea Money Talks. We are live. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 11 of Tea Money Talks. I'm your host, Tolu, a.k.a. Tea Money. And on this weekly live series, what we do is we have real open conversations about money. So every single week, I'm joined by a special guest to talk about one money topic or another. And episode 11 is actually the penultimate episode, because I have one more episode in the series next week, and then that will be it. So for episode 11, I'm so excited to announce my guest for this evening. Her name's Cheryl, in case you don't know, and she's also known as Frugal Me Free online, so that's how you may know her. She's a money blogger, a money saving blogger. She shares her debt-free journey online in such an open and such a relatable way. Like, I came across Cheryl's profile a couple of years ago when I actually joined the debt-free community myself online, and I just loved how transparent she is about her journey and how open she is in sharing her vulnerability, the highs and the lows of what it takes to basically pay off debt and pursue debt freedom. So I really loved her content. I love the fact as well that she started a hashtag for the UK debt-free community, because I'd been following Dave Ramsey's US version of it for ages, and it was hard to actually find like-minded people within the UK talking all about paying off debt. So it was amazing when I came across the hashtag and came across Cheryl's page and her content. So on this episode, I wanted to talk about the topic of budgeting, and I knew Cheryl would be the perfect person to have that conversation with, because she's just been able to navigate her finances in such an amazing way this year. Particularly, I don't want to go into too much of her story myself before getting her on the show, because I obviously want her to share her story in her own words. But with that being said, I hope Cheryl has joined and I can bring her onto the live and we can kick off episode 11. As I say every single week, it's an interactive session, so if you guys have any comments or anything you want to add to the conversation, then definitely leave it in the comment section below, or submit your questions and then we'll answer them as and when we can during the live. And with that being said, I'm going to bring Cheryl online now. Hi everyone, and thank you all for joining. Yes, we'll be joining us any second now. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I can't believe we've got one more episode, and that will be
crazy. Yay! Hey Cheryl, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the live and have a conversation with me and with the guys.
No worries. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Can you hear me all right? Is the audio and everything?
Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
Perfect.
I feel like such a dinosaur on this Insta Live thing. It's like, oh, I don't know how to work this thing.
No, you did it. Yeah, and they've changed it again. They've changed it again since last week. Every week they're doing stuff to it. I think they're testing things out with the format and stuff. But yeah. Well, we're here. We can hear each other, which is brilliant. All right, so I've basically done a pre-introduction. I don't know how much of it you heard, but it would be good for you, in your own words, to kind of tell the guys a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, my name is Cheryl. I live on the outskirts of Leeds, and I'm on Instagram as Frugal Me Free. I don't know why I chose that name. It was just something that came to mind, and it stuck with me. But yeah, basically, back in 2017, I found myself in like lots and lots of debt. Like I had like credit card debt, had loans, I had like payment plans from like shops and stuff like that. And it was starting to become unmanageable. I had more going out than coming in. And, you know, it was quite disheartening when you're working your way up the career ladder and you've got a good salary, but at the end of every month, you have nothing to show for it. So that's, it was just too much, and I just felt like I needed to do something about it. And I remember like a few months earlier, I saw like a few American accounts, like, and it was really excited to cut up a credit card. And I was like, oh wow, this sounds really interesting. And the bargain side of me was like, oh, I want to join that. You know, I want to see what that is about. But it felt a bit too soon. I wasn't ready. And then my car broke down, and then I was just like, okay, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm going to sort my finances out, and I'm going to tackle this debt. And at the time, it was like £15,000 worth of debt. And it was like scary seeing that number, thinking, how on earth am I going to pay that off? And yeah, like I basically started paying it off. It wasn't easy. I had a couple of setbacks along the way, and I'm currently at £3,000, just under £3,000 now. So yeah, we're just on the final stretch, but we're getting there. But yeah, it's been 3 years roughly of a debt-free journey, and it's been life-changing, definitely.
Amazing. Thank you. Thanks for sharing a bit of your story. We're going to dive into that a bit more in detail later on. Before we kick off and get into the heart of the whole topic for this conversation, what I like to do at the beginning of the show is a little bit of an icebreaker game. So I don't know if you've seen any episodes, but what we basically do is I give you two options: would you rather, and then you pick A and B. And so for you guys that have joined us as well, you can play along. So you can pick A or B for the questions as well. So play along at home as you're watching. Okay. So question one, you ready?
Yep, I am.
Okay, so would you rather do something you love and make just about enough money for you to get by, or would you rather do something that you hate, so a job that you do not like, but you're getting paid £1 million for it?
Oh, yeah, like definitely, like do something I love. By far, I can live off pennies if I'm happy, definitely.
Amazing. You answered that so swiftly as well. I thought you would think about it for a little bit. You're like, no, I'd rather do something I love. I can't lie, the £1 million was very tempting, because I was like, as much as I'm saying A, I want to say A, I don't know. £1 million is a lot of money. So I'm like,
it's life-changing. Yeah.
To know how long I have to do that job for. I think that might be so much.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Maybe, but yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it indefinitely because that's not life.
No way.
It says depends on the job. Yeah, just a job you hate. So it depends, whatever that would be, fill in the blank kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question we've got is, would you rather have a terrible boss, so a boss that just is like, oh, or would you rather have a great job? No, wait, hold on. Would you rather have a terrible boss but a great job? So the boss is the worst, but the job is absolutely amazing. Or would you rather have a great boss, so you love your boss, but the job is crap?
Ooh, that is a really hard one. It depends how often I would see my boss.
Yeah.
Like if I'm working right next to them. Yeah. Ooh, that's a really difficult one. I'd have to say a great job though. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, all right, I'll go with the great job.
With B, so she's gone with the great job, but great boss but terrible job. So you'll go with A or B?
A. I'm gonna go with A.
So you go with the terrible boss but love the job. Yeah. Put in your headphones and hopefully you can just drown them out.
That's it. Yeah. We can find some sort of logistics. Maybe work from home or something.
Yeah. Especially during these times, you just work remotely, then you don't have to do
exactly.
Yeah, no, good one. Okay, so would you rather travel back in time to meet your ancestors, or would you rather travel into the future and meet your descendants?
Ooh.
I know. I was like, who makes these questions up? I don't know.
I've never. Probably my ancestors. because I feel like you can learn so much more from history. Like everything that we go through now, we feel, because we're going through it now, we feel like it's the first time it's ever happened. But if you actually look at history, there's been similar cycles before, and it's like, what can you learn from it? So I'd probably say my ancestors, and then just sort of see. And yeah, you sort of want to make them proud a little, wouldn't you? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'll go with A.
yeah.
Saying hi from Leeds. Hold on, let me just check the
Oh,
comments. So he said, I live this. Okay, so Lawanda's saying you need a great boss. Yeah, because the boss can make you like the job or hate the job. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so, oh, you've got hi from Leeds.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I think ancestors, definitely. I think we're all in agreement on that one.
Yeah,
Okay, a couple more. So would you rather have more time or more money?
more time, definitely. I was
Same.
going to say money for a minute then, but as long as I've got enough money to get by and I can pay my bills, just more time. Because if you'd asked me this question 6 months ago, different story. I'd probably
Would have been
say
a
more
different
money.
answer.
But now time is like I have no time like at all. The babies take up a lot of time.
100%.
Yeah, so no
Yeah,
time.
no, same, definitely time. Time. Yep, time. We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think this one might be an easy one. Let's see what you say. Would you rather get rich through hard work or through winning the lottery?
Oh, no, I would say hard work. Is that normal?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I know that's weird, yeah,
Yeah.
but hear my explanation.
Okay, I'm listening.
I feel like I would be more likely to blow it and not appreciate the value of the lottery. But like winning it that way, whereas when it's hard work, it's like I built all this up, and there's something like what I'm doing lots of side hustles right now, and I can tell that when I work, I can see more results, and that's much more rewarding than if I just get given like a bit of money. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, brilliant. But when you actually put the work in,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just weird. I don't know.
No, I hear that. I'll take the money, but I hear you. I'll take that money. Okay. Did I say that was the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. One more, and then we'll get into it. Okay. So, would you rather have an unlimited gift certificate for your favorite restaurant or for your favorite clothing retailer?
Ooh, clothing retailer, because I don't trust myself with the restaurants. Like, food is my biggest weakness. Definitely clothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one, but clothing, yeah.
Yeah. Same. Clothing. 100%. Cool. Thank you. Thanks for playing along.
No, it was fun.
All right. So, into the heart of this whole conversation, and we're going to obviously be talking about budgeting. Yay! One of my favorite topics to talk
Yeah.
about. But I love talking about budgeting because it's just so important, and it's just it's helped us so much on our financial journey. So yeah, I love talking about budgets. But you touched on it a little bit anyway in your introduction about your story, your background story in terms of your debt story. But it'd be good to kind of get a bit more understanding about your background. How you was as a child in terms of your relationship with money growing up, or as your parents taught you, or anything like that. That would be good to get some insights.
Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky. I had a very comfortable childhood. I grew up in a nice area, and I didn't have to worry about no sort of finances at all. Like, I always had a roof over our head. We didn't struggle. It was fine. My parents, my dad especially, was brilliant, like role model. He's really, really good. And then when I hit about 14, like I decided off my own back that I was gonna get a Saturday job and work and stuff. So I started working in a cafe, just to get some extra money in and on a weekend. But already when I look back now, I can sort of see that there were sort of issues there because I didn't really know how to make that money stretch. I would just get paid. I think I got paid weekly, and then I just spend it straight away. And then I had a friend that was really good with money, and she would be like, "Oh, you haven't got no money again." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I spent it. I used to buy clothes and stuff, and back in the day when you used to get a voucher like for your phone, your credit, and you get like a little 10 voucher. That's where all my money went. Yeah, so so that was that really. Like as I was a teenager, I just used to spend like my money, but I was always working. And then when I hit about, I don't know, 17, 18, then I got a full-time job and it was the same thing again. I just didn't really think about budgeting or saving or tomorrow. It was always about today. And I was going on holidays with my friends, spending money on clothes. It was just about like fitting in, I guess, and not being willing to say no and just fitting in and spending my money and never put any of it aside. And the thing is, as well, is I did have some friends where they would save. Like I remember them saying at the time, I'm saving for a house, and
Oh wow.
yeah, I had some really good friends around me, but I wasn't that friend. I
He
was
wasn't
obviously, yeah, I was just like, I want to get the latest top, I want to get the latest clothes, the latest phone, and stuff like that. And yeah, that's how I was really. Just budgeting just never came to mind. I think my idea was more money is the answer. I didn't need to budget, but that's the wrong perception, of course.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Definitely is. So that was your relationship with money
Yeah.
as a child, and then going into adulthood. So then, where did things, would you say, take? Where was the turning point where it was like, okay, I'm spending all the money that I earn, to now it's like, okay, now I'm spending money that's not my money. What was that
Yeah.
journey like?
Ooh, okay. I think it's a gradual one. Um there was never any set point where it was like it turned upside down. It was a gradual thing. I think the thing with debt and credit is it spirals. So you start with one plan, you start with, one credit card, then, oops, I've maxed it out, let me get another one, two cards, I'll pay that off later. Later never comes. And then you find yourself having like two credit cards, three credit cards. And then also the same with like payment plans. And I remember one of the I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I would say it's a good thing now because obviously it's led me to this community here. But the payment plan, and that was at, I don't know if you've ever had it in a workplace where they have like special deals and discounted offers on the latest MacBook and the latest tablet.
Oh yes, yeah. We had the bike to work scheme, yeah.
Yeah,
so that you get a bike, yeah.
Exactly the same thing. So it wasn't bikes, but ours was like, I don't know, there was like a company that dealt with like Apple and anything to do, tablets,
gadgets.
but I got the biggest MacBook that you could get, of course. And yeah, and I got that, and then I was stuck paying that off for about 2 years. And although it sounds really good that you get the discount at the time, when you decide to leave your job a lot earlier than you'd originally planned, you've got to suddenly find that extra chunk of money to pay that off. So it was all those little payments that gradually built up. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, back in 2017, my car broke down. I was like, this is too much. And the reason why that was unbearable was because of that same laptop having coffee spilt all over it. And I was just like, oh. And it was so new as well. It was like a year old at the time or something. And we had like family photos that you can't get back and all that stuff. So yeah, it was just a combination of things, and then you reach a point where you're just like, wow, like I'm literally spending thousands a month on like paying debts off and credit and stuff. So yeah, I think I must have been about maybe 28 or 27, 28 at the time where I decided that's enough now, let's get it sorted.
Okay, so you just it was just like one day you just decided that, okay, enough is enough. I need to sort this out. So then what was it? What steps did you take? Like, what did you do to kind of change it?
I'd like to say that there's clear steps. There isn't for me. I stumbled my way across. I think initially it was the fact of I was trying to pay off as much as I could as soon as possible. So I decided, okay, I'm going to clear these debts and I'm going to try and make extra money and clear it off as soon as I can. But what I found was I was overstretching myself, and I didn't have an emergency fund. So then when life still keeps happening, maybe the car fails its MOT, or, maybe, I don't know, like we were moving house, just life in general. I didn't have any money to fall back on, but I told myself that I wasn't going to use credit anymore. So then it's like, I found myself in a bit more of a mess there. And then, so I tried to get like side hustles, you know, on an evening just to try and make extra money, because I remember lots of people in the community at the time were like side hustling. But my situation was a little bit different in the sense of I had a little boy to come home to, and I've been working all day. And, you know, even on an evening, it was too much. So then I decided that actually I was just going to reach out to a company called Step Change. I don't know if you heard
Yes.
of that charity. And I told them that, you know, my bills are so much higher than, you know, they need to be. Like, can you help me, like, get some control of my credit and stuff like that? And we arranged a debt management plan. And it's like an informal plan where you can just clear it off, you know, an
Yeah.
affordable amount each month. And fast forward like 2.5 years later, you know, I've managed to clear a whole chunk of debt, like 12 grand roughly.
Amazing.
And it's just worked so well. But obviously, you know, you definitely need to do your research. You know, don't just jump straight into it. It's not the ideal solution. I think for me, it's the case of if I had known about like finances and understood it a bit more, I wouldn't have gone on that. No way. I would have just learned how to do like a debt snowball approach, or, you
Yeah.
know, all those types of approaches to clearing off the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. What's amazing is that everyone's debt journey is so different, but so many of us find ourselves in debt. Because when you were talking about yours was like an incremental thing, so it was like little by little,
Yeah.
it just kind of accumulated over time. Whereas like my one is like, okay, I can kind of pinpoint where the debt all came from, but either way, it's still debt and it still needs to
Yeah.
be paid off. So it's amazing that you've taken that step to just be like, okay, I'm gonna find out what to do about it. Because I found out about Dave Ramsey, and that's how we were able to follow his baby steps. But if we didn't discover him, I don't even know where we would have began, to be honest. So it's amazing that he was able to even find Step Change and follow, that they were able to help you get on a plan. Because like, it's easy to get into the debt, but then when it's like, okay, I need to pay it off, it's like the information isn't really readily available, and it's like, how do I get out of this position? It's not so easy to access. So.
Yeah, there's very little support out there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's why I was so happy to find the debt-free community online. It's like, oh wow, yes, there's actually other people that are out there in the same situation as me, and they're really like trying to clear this debt. So no, it's amazing. It's amazing finding
Yeah,
the community.
that's true. The one thing I would say about it is that it's like at least you feel like you're not alone. That's the number
100%.
one thing that I've got from the community, is that you just don't feel like it's just you, whereas before it was like, oh, it's only me, and you feel so shameful about it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, cool. So I've kind of digressed from my script, but I'm going to try and get back onto script now. So questions, let me see, because I've gone off tangent a bit. Let me come back a little bit. Okay, so we're talking about budgeting. So in terms of budgeting, how did you begin? Like, how did you learn about budgeting, or like the steps that you've taken in terms of budgeting your finances? Was that something Step Change helped you with, or you just, how did you do it?
I did that myself, but like they do like an official one for you, like, but I created my own myself because I wanted something that worked. So my daughter's crying, but it's okay. My partner's there. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
It's just like, what's that? Basically, it's putting me off course now.
Budget. We're talking about.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, I created my own sort of budgets myself, because, like, I don't know, I feel personal finance is actually personal, and as much as I've tried, like, you know, these, you know, need, wants, percentages, and, you know, split your needs to 50% or whatever it is, it's never quite fit me. It's something that I would like to aspire to, but when you've got like really high bills or you've got really high debt payments, it's very hard for you to fit into those brackets and just be like, okay, I'll do this. So for me, it was more stumbling into my budget, and by that I mean I started tracking my spending and looking at where I was spending all my money, and I realized that every month before then I was creating a budget, but I knew that I was not sticking to it at all. I was just like, this is what it should be, and I can't afford to like treat myself to anything, and that's the budget anyway. And then the payday would arrive, and then I would just literally blow the budget because it was unrealistic. So I decided to start tracking everything, and then I started creating little subcategories of my budget budget from there. And then now, because my lifestyle is obviously very similar, each month, it's like a pretty similar to do now. You know, it's not much work, but I guess the steps I took was tracking my spending and just seeing exactly where my money was going every single day for like a week, 2 weeks, ideally a month, but I appreciate not everyone can do it for a long time. And then looking for like groups, and that's why I realized, oh yeah, I say I haven't got any money to save, but I bought like 4 Starbucks this month, so maybe I have. You know, like things like that. But then also then being realistic and thinking, well, actually, like if I'm saying that I, you know, want to make it realistic, then allow myself to have 1 Starbucks. You don't need to have like 4, 5, 6 a month, but don't deprive yourself completely. Like have 1 or 2, like just cut it down a little bit. What are you happy spending your money on at the end of the month? Are you happy that you only spent £10 on Starbucks, or you know, or is it £50? You know, like which one do you want to choose, basically?
Yeah.
But that's how I created it. And then also in regards to my budget as well, is it's always been a priority for me to ensure that my bills are paid as well. So that's always number 1, like ensuring that my bills are always paid, like everything, the council tax, the rent, everything. And then after that, the money afterwards, the spending money, like, you know, when it's your groceries, your petrol, your treats and all that type of stuff, that's where I would track my spending and make sure that I can group it and then sort of see what am I happy to spend, you know, what amount am I happy with when it comes to spending money on clothes, you know, stuff, just questions like that.
Yeah.
That's
really, really good. Sorry, Black Girls Palace said, good evening, ladies. Evening. That is very true. Personal finances, personal. Misha, she's agreeing with what you were saying earlier. It is so true. It is personal. I like the way you went about doing it, in that you created few things you said. So I like the fact that you were saying that the budget needs to be realistic. So that was one of the things I talked about in my post today, actually, on Instagram, about why is your budget not working. I think that's the big thing that kind of is a stumbling block for a lot of people, because you set the budget and it's like so unrealistic to the point that you're just like, after a few days, you're like, forget this budget, I can't do it, I'm not doing it, and then you just leave it because it's not realistic. Because I know we've gone through seasons like that as well, where we're like, okay, no fun money for the month because we just need to pay these bills, or we just need to save towards this, or we just need to put money here. But it's like, no, actually, we still need to be present in the moment and still enjoy our life a little bit as well. Because what's the point of just working and not having any enjoyment? You're just going to burn out. You're not going to want to keep doing it. It shouldn't actually be like a chore, or be like, so it shouldn't be too restricted to the point that you're not enjoying your life anymore, because you're not going to want to stick to it. Like, a budget shouldn't be painful like that, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. No way. That's true.
Yeah. Jala's agreeing.
Yeah.
The budget.
Sorry.
No, I was just reading the comment. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, you know, another thing that I've sort of learned is that with budgets is, it doesn't matter even if you're on a low income or a high income, you know, like a budget is still useful. You know, even if you find it so easy to pay your bills, it's still so useful.
Oh yeah, no, that's the very, very good point, a very valuable point, because I think that's the misconception that a lot of people have. It's like, oh, you know, I know how much I do budget, because I know exactly, I kind of have a rough idea of how much my bills are. My bills are always paid on time, so it's like, yeah, I do budget. Yeah. But it's like, no, if you actually have a written budget and you actually know pound for pound where your money's going, you'll find a lot more money. You'll realize that, oh, actually, I even have more money than I thought I had, because I have a budget. Whereas when you don't have a budget, you don't really have a clear picture of where your money's going. The money literally just slips through your fingers. It's crazy. Yeah. I remember when it was a few months back, I was tracking my expenses, and one month I spent over £100 at McDonald's. I was like, it's impossible. I had to go back over the numbers. So I was like, there's no way I gave McDonald's £100 in 1 month.
Someone nicked my cards.
McDonald's, like, how is that possible? But it's because I was going there. It wasn't like one transaction, obviously. It was like, oh, after the school, let me quickly go get myself a coffee and sausage and egg McMuffin. Yeah. And it's like, oh, take the kids to McDonald's after school. And then before you know it, £100 just spent like that in McDonald's. Now, £100 in the course of a year, if I continue that pattern of behaviour, that's £1,200.
Exactly. It's so easily done, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So no, I definitely think it's effective to track those expenses. So I'm just catching up on the comments.
Yeah.
The budget has to be realistic. Following someone else's budget is like a diet for me. Michelle says, yeah, I know, exactly. No. everyone's budget should be different because everyone's financial situation is very different. Yeah, everyone has different financial responsibilities. Yes, that's very true as well. Exactly. So yeah, no, it's definitely important to have a personal budget, but the main thing is to have a budget. So
yes,
yeah, totally agreed. Okay, so what made you then start Frugal Me Free, the planners, and also starting to share your page and your journey so publicly?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was just simply because I discovered the Instagram community, and at that time there was a lot of Australians and Americans, and it was just this whole new world that I'd never heard of or seen. And they were creating these graphics where they're like, "Yeah, we paid off $500 of debt," and showing like grocery hauls in like Woolworths, because in Australia they still have Woolworths.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it just seemed totally interesting because even though I was a spender before, I wasn't like I didn't spend a fortune. Like I was always searching for bargains. I just didn't really know how to manage my money, you see. So that's why it sort of connected with me still. I did, I was never really into designer clothes anyway. It was just that my daily lifestyle was just a bit too expensive,
Yeah.
I wasn't watching my money. So yeah, when I saw the community, I was like, oh, I'm going to join, like, and just chat to these ladies, and they were always so friendly, so supportive, and like rooting for each other, like when they became debt free. And I was like, yeah, I just want to join. But because I knew it was debt, and because I knew I was in this amount, I felt so like embarrassed, ashamed, and I thought, gosh, if anyone finds out, so I did it, I just hid behind graphics for about 2.5 years. And then over time, like, I felt like, I don't know if people will connect with me, because I've sort of built like this little brand of me with these colors and this design and stuff. So I stuck behind that for a while. And then eventually I just thought, you know what, like, I'm ready to like evolve a little and just show who I am and create new different types of content, and also just accept that, yeah, this is my journey. I mean, even talking about it now, there is a part of me that's like, oh, it's a bit shameful. It's a bit embarrassing.
Nah, it's not shameful at all.
Yeah, like,
and it's definitely helping many people. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just sharing it now, and yeah, I don't mind it. It's nice to connect with people, and it's doing things like this now with yourself, where I wouldn't have been able to do if I was kept hiding behind,
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure if you would say yes to it, because I know that you don't really show your face that much on your page. Like, okay, no, you're starting to show yourself a bit more. So I'm like, well, let me try, see if she'll come on the house. So no, it's amazing to have you on.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good that you're no longer anonymous.
Yeah.
Really good. Okay, cool. So next question. So going back to, obviously we're talking about budgeting and stuff like that, and you were saying that your method was kind of one that you created for yourself. Are there any other budgeting methods that you could recommend to anyone that's on the live, or anything that you think that could help the guys at home?
Yeah, these Dave Ramsey's steps are so useful for everyone, and he's got lots of tools. It just depends what situation you're in. Maybe do a bit of research. And then another one that I've always liked the sound of is You Need a Budget. I've never really used them. I did download their app at the very beginning of my journey, but it didn't connect to our cards because we're in England and they're overseas in America. But I really like the sound of them, and I still follow their page and stuff. So I would say You Need a Budget, definitely for people to be. Yeah. Also the Every Dollar app, but I don't think, once again, because I do things by paper, I don't know, but Every Dollar app, Dave Ramsey has that, and I know that's really good for a lot of people.
Okay. Yes, I guess the Every Dollar app is the zero-based budgeting method, isn't it? Where, you give every single penny, a pound, an assignment at the start of the month, and then you allocate to different budget categories. That's the method that we use. That's the method that I as well. I think it's really effective. I like the idea of the pay yourself first method. So that method is where you basically pay yourself whatever percentage first and then pay everything else afterwards, but that's not realistic. right now. I can't afford to do that. So
But see, this is the thing with pay yourself first. I asked this question the other day. Pay yourself first. Does that mean like after your bills, or does it?
no,
How
it
do
means
you take it
before. So
before?
you
See,
get
that scares me.
exactly. So you
That
get
scares
paid and you pay yourself a percentage. So whether it's 10, 15, 20, whatever you decide, but you have to pay yourself first and then everything else. But I was like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. But in reality, you can't tell your mortgage provider or landlord that you're not paying your rent because you need to pay yourself
me.
first. So,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I'll see that question again in about 5 years' time, and they'll be
yeah,
like, "Yeah, I'll pay myself first." But
so,
whilst I've got these payments, I just can't. But like you're saying, the zero-based budgeting, definitely that. Because my only query with that, and what I'm sort of a bit unsure of, because I sort of wing everything myself, I just wing everything, is I tend to have a miscellaneous fund. How do you manage your zero-based budgeting? Do you have because what if something
miscellaneous is
pops
the
up?
budget category, yeah. So I put miscellaneous in the budget as well. So I have
Okay,
that category, and then I end up taking money from different categories so that it all kind of balances out at the end. But yeah, I do allocate for miscellaneous because there's always going to be some kind of expense
yeah,
that you plan for. So it's like, yeah, you have to make some kind of allowances for that.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, definitely.
And then I like the what's it, the 50, 30, 21, so the balanced money formula. That one again is quite idealistic because it's like my expenses and my needs are more than 50%. So that one is
That's
where it's
it.
like 50% needs, 30% for your wants, and then
Yeah,
20% for saving or investing or paying off debt. But it's like I can't spend 30% on my wants when I have this
but,
mortgage I'm trying to pay off. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's how I feel. That's what I mean. It's just I've heard of a lot of these budgets, and I do think they work for a lot of people. And I
yeah,
think they may work for me in the future, but where I'm at now, it
yeah.
just doesn't fit.
Doesn't work.
When you're on a really small budget, it's very hard to. It's real. I'll be lucky if I can even pay myself in the end. Like
Exactly.
it's really hard. So it's just for now it's just sort of winging it a little and just creating my own budget categories. But
Yeah.
then eventually, going from there, we'll see how we go.
100%. Yeah. I'm just going back through just some of the comments. Yeah, everyone has different financial responsibilities. Also, the Black Girls Palace said, yeah, exactly. And then sharing holds us accountable and releases you from the prison of shame. The Black community needs this. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, going back to what you were saying before when you were talking about not wanting to show yourself, but then eventually you did. So yeah, no, we definitely need more of it. So it's amazing. So well done to you. Yeah, exactly. Well done.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then we've got Yummy Diva F. She says, I have a few of your planners. I need
Oh,
to
wow.
reorder the Christmas one for next year. Amazing.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
And then Misha said, I think it's just a concept that prioritize yourself too. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you definitely do need to prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
I guess it's what you can balance and what you can afford to do. So yeah, that 30 is something I'll aspire to, but yeah, not for now.
Yeah. I think for me at the minute it's like a small percentage, so it's not necessarily that I'm not paying myself at all. Every paycheck, no matter how, because I'm on a low income right now, being on maternity leave, not working. So every paycheck, I'm still putting a small amount towards my goals. So one day I want to buy a house. I've literally put £5 towards buying a house this month.
Amazing.
It's nothing, but I know
It's
that the
something.
minute I'm working, I'll do it. It's just maintaining that habit. But it's paying yourself definitely, but it just might be really small amounts whilst your
Depending on the
income does
season.
change. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I really like what you said there in terms of paying yourself whatever you can. Yeah, exactly. And the habit is so important. It's like creating those habits that you can keep building on as time goes on rather than just doing it ad hoc here and there. Like, okay, I'm going to have this habit, whether it's £1, whether it's £5, I'm going to do this consistently and over time build it up. So no, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
amazing. So I'm just seeing another comment. Highlights are not showing on your live. What does that mean?
Highlights not shown in.
At Frugal, the highlights are not showing on your live.
Pardon?
Black Diamond said that the highlights are not showing on your live. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they've gone on to say, I wish more people were like you. So yes, definitely. No, it's so good. Like what I like what you're doing. Like no matter your situation, you can do something about it. I think that's something that people should definitely take away from this conversation, because it's easy, because you could easily have been like, you know what, my income has gone low now. I'm on maternity leave. I can't afford to budget. I can't afford to do this. But it's like, no, you actually can't afford not to do this, because you need to get in control of that money. Otherwise, money's just going to get in control of you, kind of thing. So no, it's amazing. Definitely
and no matter
inspiring.
how small it is, it all mounts up.
It does. It really does. The compound effect, it literally compounds. You don't even realize it, but it makes such a big difference. Okay, so I guess this goes on to my next question. I guess you kind of touched on it, but how has budgeting been for you? So you've been, I'd say, on that journey for the past few years. You've been budgeting, and I guess you've had your good points and bad points, but what's it been like for you overall, would you say?
It's highs and lows, really. It's so weird because last year it was smooth. Like every month, it was like, yeah, I track my spending every single day. I budget every month. Actually, I can't wait to create my budget so I can use my highlighters and stuff. You know, like it was just like routine. Like, yeah, review my spending, track my spending, create a budget. Oh, I've learned this is where my money goes. Oh, I need to adapt this and so on. And it was smooth. Then this year happens, and then my life is rocky, like for a number of reasons. You know, I have a new baby, so it's like I have no time to do anything anymore. Like my income changes, everything, and then it's like that's when you become really tested as to, is there any point in still budgeting? Is there any point in still trying to save when there's no money there to save, you know, and all that type of stuff. So it's been rocky this year, I have to admit. And what I found is sometimes it's very tempting to keep doing the same thing because you feel like that's what works for you. But actually over time, you may need to evolve and you may need to change your habits. So say, for example, right now, I've come to the decision, I don't even think I've said it on my account at the minute, but I'm going to... Oh no. But I'm going to start tracking my spending on a weekly basis rather than a daily basis, because for the past 2-3 months, basically since I've had my daughter, I've not really been able to track my spending on a daily basis. And, you know, obviously when you're saying, you know, this is what you do to become debt free and save money and do this, and it can feel a bit like, oh, am I like contradicting myself? Because now I'm saying to do something else. But what it is that my situation's changed.
Okay. Yeah.
I've evolved. I'm not really the same person. I feel different, and I have to do what works for me now. And so, you know, I can easily say to my partner, can you just have my daughter for like, you know, 10-15 minutes whilst I just track my spending for the week, have a think and see what goes on. Yes, it's not ideal because I don't start every day with a fresh mindset of I know exactly where my money is, but it works. It works for me right now. When she's a bit older and I'm a bit more settled and I've got a bit more time, then I can reevaluate things. But when it comes to budgeting, it's always about like just responding to what works and what doesn't work. You can't keep creating a budget that doesn't work. You can't keep trying to create all these new habits and it doesn't work for you. Try lots of different methods, you know, try Excel sheets, try planners, you know, try apps, or maybe try locking your accounts, try hiding your accounts, try using cash, try using cards. Just, and then it's like a jigsaw for me. And I feel like you just got to find all the different pieces, and then you find the ones that work for you. Your life might change again, and then you've got to find some new pieces that work for you, and so on, you know. So yeah, it's been a journey, but we're getting there.
Yeah, no, it's so true what you're saying about being able to adapt, because yeah, like you said, seasons come and seasons go, and it's like you're changing, you're growing, you're evolving, and what was working for you maybe 6 months ago might not be working for you today. But the main thing is to try and do something rather than just giving up and throwing the towel. Find a formula and a routine that works for you. So I can imagine tracking expenses daily is probably not going to be top of your to-do list when you've got a newborn baby. So 100%
trying to do my hair, like never mind track spending.
Exactly. Trying to get a shower is a challenge in itself. So yeah, no, I totally understand, totally relate. But it's just amazing that you've identified that and you found ways to adapt, and you're finding another method and something that works for you. So it's really good, really amazing. not a contradiction at all. No.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay, so what impact would you say budgeting has had on your finances?
Really, really positive impact in all senses. Prior to the debt-free journey, I wouldn't have money for anything really. Like I'd just be getting by, run out of money halfway through the month, probably borrow a bit of money off my partner, and yeah, I'd just be stressed. The bill would come and I'd be like, oh, I forgot to pay it, or I ain't got any money to pay it now. And yeah, now I pay my bills. Like I'm ahead on my bills. If anything, there's like I get credit back, because I'm always ahead.
Overpaid.
Yeah, like if there's any changes to my bills, I proactively try and reduce my bills as much as possible. So my bills are a lot lower now. By using comparison sites, I find cheaper deals, and I know not to just allow the annual increases. Never do that. You're literally throwing your money down the drain. I now have savings. I didn't have savings before. I now have savings, and they've been there for a while, not just 3 days or a couple of weeks, like months, coming up to years, so I got savings. And then like maybe I think the biggest thing I've noticed is when it's an unplanned expense, if there's something like a family emergency or we need to buy something in the house, something's broken down like the washing machine or something like that, we've got the money there to fix it and we don't need to use credit. And that's simply through budgeting. Like it's not through, we haven't deprived ourselves. We still have the odd nice day out. We still have the odd takeaway. We still get clothes, we still enjoy life. But we just make sure that we budget our money and we don't let any of it go to waste. That's the key, and it's kind of a shame because I don't like the word budgeting because it people switch off. You can literally switch off. But I would think there's another word for it, but it's had a real positive impact to my life as well, yeah.
Amazing. No, that's really, really amazing. It's the power of budgeting. It really transform your finances. Like even just the peace of mind that it gives you, knowing where all your money is and where it's going, kind of thing, and not being scared to check your bank balance because you know exactly what's going on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, definitely.
I'm just reading the comments. Sorry, so I can't remember where we left off. Okay. Well done, you. You're building the habit. When you have more, you can increase the percentage. Exactly. I think that was in reply to you saying about the putting £5 towards the house deposit. So yeah, no, amazing. Black Diamond was talking about this live. So basically, it wasn't showing up that you were going live with me.
Yes. Yeah. I
don't know why that was. And every penny does help. Yep, that is true. And do you have a Monzo? It's really good for tracking your spending. Black Diamond was saying.
Yeah. No, I don't use Monzo. No.
Okay. And the Black Girls Palace said, I just had a smart meter fitted to teach. My gas electricity is great to see what I'm spending daily. Okay.
That's really good. Yeah.
That is amazing. Yeah, budgeting is an asset, exactly. Yeah, loads of budgeters on the live, brilliant. And last comment, I think I've caught up with all of them. Spending plan instead of a budget. Yeah, okay, yeah, let's call it that instead. I like that. Safe journey.
What's that?
Yeah, spending plan instead of a budget. Call it spending plan. Yeah. That is actually what it is, isn't it? It's a spending plan. It is, yeah. Because
going, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, spending plan. Yeah, that's what I like to do. Create a spending plan as opposed to because budget really does get a bad rap. It really does. People
it's associated with all this
cheapskate. You don't have a life. Boring.
Far from it. I do much more now than before.
Exactly. No, 100%. If I could campaign for budgeting, I will be like, come on guys, get a budget or get a spending plan. Yeah, now I like that. Let's start using that as the new word. Spending plan. Definitely. Okay, next one. Oh, got 11 more minutes. So I'm going to try and stick to time. I know they've extended these lives so you can go on for 4 hours, but I'm not going to keep you for 4 hours because I know you've got
Wow.
yeah, because on my live last week, I was waiting for them to kick us out and they didn't. And then we went on for like hour 20 minutes. Yeah, so no, we're going to stick to the time.
Yeah.
I think because of lockdown, yeah, because the lives keep getting cut out. So now they've given us 4 hours to talk. But yeah, don't worry, we'll be over soon. I'm going to ask you a few more questions. And if you guys in the live have any questions, drop them in there quickly because we've got a few more minutes before Cheryl has to get back to her beautiful baby. You're also in a better position of finding affordable property in the north. So that's true. That is very true. What are the property prices like down where you are?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap compared to London. Like that's the whole reason why we moved back from London. Like I think the house I'm renting now, I think it's 140 grand.
What?
It's a 2 bedrooms.
For the whole house?
For the whole house, 2 bedrooms. And that is actually quite expensive because it's on a new build estate. Round here, I think they're about 100 grand.
Oh, maybe I need to relocate up north. No, that's amazing.
Should do, yeah. Leeds, like, because I'm on the outskirts of Leeds, so it's quite cheaper. But when you actually go into a Leeds postcode,
okay, then it's a bit more pricey.
About 200.
Oh, okay. Gosh, you still couldn't get anything in London for that though.
Yeah, you get a shade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might get a garage if you're lucky. Gosh, with no door as well. Yeah. Okay. Oh, a couple more good questions actually. So whereabouts in Leeds? Okay, getting personal. Yeah. On the outskirts of Leeds.
Outskirts, yeah. I can't be disclosing my location.
On the internet, no. So back to questions. Okay, so next question. What advice would you give someone that's new to budgeting and doesn't know where to start?
Tracking your spending, definitely. Because you will see exactly where your money's going, and then you can decide after that period, are you happy spending £200 on clothes every month? If you are, keep doing it, but most likely you probably feel like, oh, that's a bit too much. And then what you'll notice is subconsciously, when you go to the shops, you'll start thinking, oh, actually, I'm not going to buy that top. I'll give you an example, like with I used to love notebooks, like just plain notebooks, and I'd write in a couple of pages and then just leave it after that, never bothered. And I had like a whole heap of notebooks. And the reason why was because I'd go into the shops like Paper Chase or Sainsbury's. I'd always purposely go to the stationery aisle and then find the notepad I loved and I'd buy it and spend like a buy on it. And then I realised that actually I spent a fortune in it. I'm like, if you see the tracking, yeah. And then when you see it over time, you realise, am I quite happy spending that much money on like notebooks and stuff like that? No. So I would say, track your spending. And then just question, like, am I happy with how much I'm spending on like takeaways, on clothes, on maybe like makeup and stuff? And then if you're not, then set a budget from there. So say, yeah, okay, I'm still going to allow myself to get some clothes or like some makeup and stuff, but I'm not really prepared to spend like more than £30 a month on clothes or £50 a month. And then you can have that as goals to work towards. But yeah, if you want a more structured approach and you feel like you actually want someone to guide you and tell you what you should do, the zero-based budget method is definitely the one that everyone bangs on about, and it seems to work for a lot of people. I think I sort of do that to some extent as well, but it's just that I always go a little bit over or under, so I can never quite get it right. But yeah, the zero-based budget method would be another one to consider.
Brilliant. Fantastic advice. Hope you guys are taking notes at home. And then the next question I've got is, which one should I pick? Because I'm running out of time. What lessons would you say you've learned so far on your debt-free journey?
The biggest lesson I've learned is this year, where I would say that financial security is so important, and you will never be 100% safe through like relying on one source of income. So I would say the best thing to do is always try and have several streams of income. And it doesn't mean that you then have to become some massive entrepreneur and like doing lots of this. It just means that like maybe on a weekend or an evening, you know, you turn that little hobby into like a, you know, something profitable. And or maybe if you're well off, you know, you can invest in a bit more things like, you know, a second home or put money in investments and stuff like that. But I would definitely never rely on just one income. Like always have several streams of income. Always have an emergency fund as well. You know, so you've always got some money to fall back on should anything happen. And then yeah, I would say finally as well, like keep your bills as low as possible. Like because the lower your bills are, the easier life will be. I'm on maternity leave now, and if I like, you know, my car broke down last year, and I was tempted to get finance. If I'd have got finance then and spent 200 quid on like, you know, getting 200, got a finance for 200 quid a month, that would be an extra 200 quid a month I need to find now, which would be stressful. Oh, I'd have to let the car go. I'll be stressing to find it every month. Whereas now, I've got my bare minimum bills, like, and we're so comfortable, like we can get by nicely just to, you know, use comparison sites, never accept your annual increases, call the supplier up and haggle with them, look at, you know, deals elsewhere, and just focus on keeping them as low as possible. Question if you need every single subscription, all those sort of things. But also at the same time, don't deprive yourself, because you should never deprive yourself. Life is also about living. I guess you just don't want long-term commitments. You want to be able to treat yourself as and when.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, 100%. It's really, really, really good advice. Gosh, you put so much. You said so much. I'm not even going to add any more to it. Okay, so then, what advice would you give to? Oh, I think I asked you that question already. Actually, no, I didn't ask you that question. Advice would you give to someone new to budgeting and doesn't know where to start? Yeah, no, I haven't asked that one actually. Someone new to budgeting and doesn't know where to start. What advice would you give them?
Zero-based budget method, and also tracking your spending, because you'll be able to create a budget just based on what you're already spending.
And then, what would you say to someone that's so they've tried budgeting and it's just not working for them? They're like, nah, I've tried it, it doesn't work.
I would say that it does work, and you just need to keep checking in. Like, so, okay, you've established that it doesn't work. All right, that's fine. So what we can do then is just start, you know, just make a building small positive financial habits. Because I actually believe that there's some people in the world that don't actually budget, but they're all right with money. So by that I mean, like, okay, how can I word this? So like check your bank balance every day, like, and just get a feel for how much is in your account, see what transactions have gone out. Over time you'll start questioning and thinking, actually, I never use that subscription, let me just cancel it, you know. So checking your bank balance daily, and then also like keeping your lifestyle costs low as well. So like just not necessarily spending a fortune every time you go out, trying to find free or cheaper alternatives, or just like have get-togethers at home. Obviously we can't do that now with lockdown, but when the world's back to normal,
when we're back to normal,
yeah, that's it. And like try and live like more like a cost-free lifestyle, more no spend days. It's a hard one because people need to be willing to like sort of budget, but I do believe you can budget. I just feel like you just need to find a method that works for you. So, yeah, if you're saying you can't budget and you keep using pen and paper, maybe try an Excel sheet, and maybe that might grip you more. What is it about the budgeting that's not working for you? Is it because you can't access your budget? Is it because, you know, you're creating unrealistic budgets? Because if that's the case, straight away you need to add some spending money into your budget. You know, there's a number of reasons, but it can work for you. We just got to find out the reason why
it's currently not working.
Yeah, that's it.
Amazing. No, very, very, very good advice once again. Okay, so last question then. Before I ask the last question, because I've seen loads of comments coming through and I haven't read any of them. The temptation is real. It'll be better if I read them in real time because I'm like, I don't know what the comments are related to. But the temptation is real. Girl, you're talking to me about Notebook. You're killing me. Oh, okay, you got another few more Notebook lovers in here. Black Girls Palaces agreeing with you in terms of having additional streams of income. I think that is definitely so important. Like job security, 2020. If it hasn't shown you anything, it's a myth. Like it's not. It's only secure until something happens externally and they need to let people go, and then it's like, oh, sorry, 10 years of service and you just get the chop. That's what happened to me. Like literally, if you had told me last year that would have been made redundant this year, I would have been like, hell no, how can they make me redundant? But they did. So it just goes to show that you can't just rely on that one source of income. Definitely diversify it into income streams where you can. Always check your direct debits too. Oh my gosh, you know how many times I've fallen for that, where it's like I sign up for these free subscriptions and it's like, oh, I need to cancel it on a certain day and I forget to cancel it and they pay and they bill me. I'm like, oh, these people. So, definitely check those DDs, definitely. And Money Supermarket is an excellent resource for checking, getting price comparisons and the best deals. So, you know, that's definitely amazing. Check your direct debits regularly. Again, someone else said, set SMART goals. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. 100%. Don't just get the latest phone on 24-month contract and pay double the amount for the phone. Buy what you can afford. Oh, that is such good advice. The Black Girls Palace. I've fallen for that so many times. Quick story. I remember one time I really wanted an iPhone. This was like maybe 4 years ago. And my husband was like, no, don't get it. Like, you don't need the iPhone. Anyway, no, it wasn't even an iPhone. It was a Samsung, like one of the new ones back then. I really wanted it. So eventually I was like, no, I'm going to go from my £10 a month contract that I was on, a SIM-only one, and I'm going to get the 24-month contract so I can get the brand new handset. Within a week, that phone was stolen from me, and I still had to pay. I had to take off the screen protector, and the phone was stolen from me on the train. I was gutted. And I didn't take out insurance either on top of that. So, that was an expensive lesson that I learned. So for the next 2 years, I was paying for this phone that was no longer in my possession. My phone went from £10 a month to like 38, I think, £40 at the time. Yeah. So yeah, definitely don't get a contract because of the phone. Go through your standing orders. Yeah, definitely. Having conversations with others really helps. Also sharing experiences, 100%. I think conversations like this are so helpful. I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversations. Let's get some love hearts for Cheryl to show that you really enjoyed this conversation. Because now I think these conversations are very important and definitely worthwhile having, because it's just good to know that other people are going through the same situations and overcoming it. Seeing people coming out the other side encourages other people that at the beginning of their journey to know that there's hope. Oh, thank you. Finally, I think you guys have just aired me. Love us.
Thank you. Yeah, because I feel like we all go through it alone, like, you know.
So isolated.
We talk about money and stuff, but really everyone's going through it. So
that's the thing. And two of you could be sitting down and you're going through the identical thing. Both of you had your debt struggles that you're going with, and you don't know because you're not having these conversations. So definitely, the more we have these conversations, we make it. You still there? Okay. The more we can have these conversations, and the more we can break down these stigmas. Oh, what's happening? I can't see the comments in here. Oh no, it's back. Sorry, adding spending money to the budget is so important. Yeah, definitely. Martin's money saving expert is the one. Yeah, I think, what day does that come on? Is it on at 8:30? I can't remember what day it comes on.
Oh, is that still on?
Yeah, his show is really good.
Thursday, if I remember.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
It can really impact your mental health negatively. Carrying financial burdens, 100%. It can really have that impact if you don't have these conversations. So no, it's definitely important to have these money conversations. So thank you. Oh my gosh, hold on, I've closed my questions. I think I've reached the end of them though. If you guys have any questions, quickly drop them in. I think we've come to the end anyway of the session. Yes, we have, because it's gone past 9 o'clock. So if you guys have any questions for Cheryl, then you can definitely slide in her DMs at Frugal Me Free, and I'm sure you'll be more than willing to answer any additional questions you guys have, right? So do you have any final words of encouragement, or anything that you want to say to the guys that I haven't asked you about that we can say before we close?
No, nothing really. Just yeah, like obviously, thank you for watching. But yeah, like if anyone's going through any sort of struggles, any like debt struggles or anything like that, financial, like just remember it doesn't last forever. You can get through it. Just take each day as it comes, and you know, over time you will make progress. And never underestimate how small your debt payments are or your savings are, because it all escalates and it all grows over the course of time. But yeah, that's it really. You know, just don't give up. That's it.
That's amazing. I can't wait to focus on my journey and look forward. Sorry, I am Michelle said. Can't wait. Can't wait to focus on my journey and look forward to more of these. Thank you. Keep raising awareness. Your pages are informative. Thank you. Thanks for hosting, Tolly. You've been great. Oh, thank you. No, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If there is anyone out there that wants help in terms of getting started with their budgeting or coaching, then you can definitely slide in my DMs, and I'll be more than willing to have at least a first conversation with you to kind of find out where you are and meet you where you are and help you on your journey. And Cheryl didn't mention, but she also has these amazing planners that she's well, which is really great for budgeting. I heard a couple of people in the comments talk about it, so definitely check out those planners too. I also have a free budget template in my bio which you can download. It's going to be free for a few more days or weeks, so you download it while it's still free. But yeah, it's a zero-based budget template, so definitely check that out and download it. You just basically plug your numbers into it and make it work for yourself. But yeah, so definitely, like I said, go check out Cheryl's page, check out her planner page as well, and connect with her. If you have any questions, slide in my DMs, slide in Cheryl's DMs. I think it's so important to continue these conversations. We're coming to the end of the series now, so I've only got one more episode next week. I'm not going to announce my guest just yet, but it's going to be amazing. Just like this one was amazing. And yeah, it's been really, really good connecting with you guys on a weekly basis. And it's been amazing having you on, Cheryl, for episode number 11. You've been fantastic. And yeah, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and I will see you next week. All right. Thanks, Cheryl. Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. See you later. Bye. Bye.
Yeah.